So, children and producers, when it comes to adults involved with watching children have sex with their mothers. Hold on. Men, women, children involved, and an adult, sitting watching a child, a 9-year-old, have sex with her mother, or involved in that. Yeah, that's something to think about. A daughter having sex with her mother, involved in sex with other adults, that sort of thing. Like, subscribe, ID in the Discovery Channel. Yes, ID in the Discovery Channel. The links are provided below. Get that Discovery Go app as well as the ID Go app. You might want to get those two things combined and make them into one. And I'm a Discovery influencer. That's indeed a fact. So, a 44-year-old television producer pleaded not guilty to charges in relation to paying a woman to have her 9-year-old daughter be involved in illegal sex. That sort of thing, what I just said. So, John Griffin, right? The individual, he was charged for trying to have the 9-year-old involved in sex activities, not really trying it, really involving her in sex activities, a 9-year-old, right? His sentence, to sentence someone for that, right? 10 years for his involvement. The mandatory, 10-year sentence, the minimum. When people ask, well, how long? Yeah, 10 years, right? So court documents describe Griffin as having a history of mental illness and drug abuse. Mental illness and drug abuse, yeah, because something more must be going on to have 9-year-olds involved in sex activities that involve their mother, right? For some people, they might feel like, well, I never heard of a daughter being involved in sex activities with her mother. That sort of stuff, yeah, do go down and stuff like that. That's what the situation was. So Griffin met the mother of the 9-year-old on a website created for sex involvement. It was a website created for that type of activity, sex and stuff like that. They had the 9-year-old involved. Each time I think about that, they had the 9-year-old involved. They met on a website created for sex involvement. My thing is, if they're two adults, why not leave the kid out? If you're meeting on a, not dating site, but you're meeting on a website involves sex and all the rest, why not just leave the child out and just you guys have sex or something like that? Why have the child involved? But the mother is to be asked. Yes, the mother. It falls on the end of the mother, not just the adult male who was involved. So he admitted to watching the 9-year-old perform sex acts with her mother. That's what I stated in my opening. I'm saying it again because it's on the end of the mother. For a mother, what type of mindset is a mother if she has her child involved in sex acts? What type of mindset did the mother have, or does the mother have? Does and did. It was almost a slang. Almost putting together words in which don't go together and all rest. The slang. The mother, her mindset. If you allow grown people to sit and watch your child have sex with you, the mother, and other adults, what type of mindset does the mother have, right? As stated in the opening, so Griffin worked for CNN, yet was fired since being arrested. CNN usually, they don't like people to, that type of stuff. So Griffin was fired. He worked at CNN for 8 years, but that's in fact why they fired him, because he got arrested for the sex acts, that type of stuff. CNN. Because CNN would have never allowed him to keep working for them, knowing that he was doing, what is that? That's like child pedophilia. Once it's a 9-year-old involved, child pedophile and stuff like that. Once a 9-year-old is involved, CNN, that type of stuff, CNN wouldn't want. That's how you get fired. CNN, because CNN is global. CNN is all over the world and all the rest. CNN, hold on. Nah, they would have fired him, because CNN, that type of stuff. Yeah. I was trying to think, well, if CNN, if they would still allow him, because he had to be a TV producer, to say, well, him being a producer, you're a TV producer, that means you're out and about with people and working. And, you know, when people find out that you do this and they find out that and all the rest pertaining to the child pedophilia, what you being with CNN. Because there are places that, in fact, not CNN or any other major corporations know they would, in fact, fire you. The man above my head, they would, in fact, do that. But I'm just saying other places would have allowed him to continue to do this and work and all the rest, even despite it being child pedophilia and all the rest, because society doesn't change so much these days. It's like, well, that man's a child pedophile, he's a producer, or this and this and that. He's a producer and all the rest, right? Some places will still allow you to work there and all the rest. But places like CNN wouldn't. Places like Discovery wouldn't, all the rest, right? That sort of thing. At time, it makes me question, as time goes on, discrimination, it makes me question that sort of thing. How some places allow you to still work and you do child pedophilia and stuff like that. Because in the future, people be trying to change laws for that. Allowing people to still work at places, that's what makes me question. Because usually sex offenders, people look down at sex offenders, right? And sex offenders, they've been known to get killed, and because people have a hatred for sex offenders and stuff like that. Yeah, that type of stuff. So it makes you wonder about the future. Discriminate, because sex offenders, what I'm saying is sex offenders could take child pedophilia, them being child pedophiles, they could take it as them being discriminated against. So I'm wondering if any laws or anything will change for them being able to keep jobs and stuff like that, or people not being discriminatory towards child pedophiles. I'm wondering, because as time changes, things change. That's how society moves, and the laws, passing the laws, everything just changes. And then one day you be wondering, well, they were not allowed to do that in the past, and these days people are allowed to do this and this and that. So that's what makes me question about child pedophiles and stuff like that. We're on investigationdiscovery.com. The ID logo says in the far left corner, ID, live now, deadly women. Yeah, because you would question that sort of thing. Like, you see when it says sex offenders, and they'll have it where you see you'll see their name and their face and all the rest, sex offenders and stuff like that. Like, they tell you to stay away. But it makes me question in the future, technology and all the rest. When, okay, well, as time goes on, hold on, let me see. Because CNN is online. Everything is going online, right? Everything is online and everything. But even offline, the discriminatory aspect, because, you know, back in the day, people used to say, well, back in the day, people used to get stoned to death and stuff like that, right? And then society has changed a lot since then, the allowance and how you can't discriminate against certain types of people and stuff like that. So when things, it makes me question child pedophiles, and I question that because of missing children videos that I do. Well, the sex trafficking and all the rest that be involved, and yeah, missing persons, and more so missing children. When things change in society and the laws change and technology change, when it comes to sex criminals and all the rest, what's going to happen on their end? Because many of them will probably think, yes, I'm being discriminated against or something like that. Child pedophile. So would any of them start changing the laws? So that's what makes me question. But yeah, like, subscribe, but also comment, said it in the opening. But let me know what you think about this video. That's the closing for now. Enjoy your day. I will, in fact, enjoy mine. I'm gone for now. One.